Dave, a victory on penalties in the Papa John's Trophy tie here at the Vic. Give us your overall assessment of this evening.
Firstly, for 1,400 people to turn up here on the evening that it was is an amazing effort. I include the Morecambe fans that travelled with it within that. But from our side of it, unbelievable effort, and hopefully got an entertaining game out of it. Thankfully, we come out on the right side of the result with penalties this evening. In terms of the game, I thought we started the game really well. 20 minutes. Deservedly go in front, and then, as you would hopefully expect with not just good teams that you're going to play against, but again, teams from a higher level, they're going to try and adapt to what you do, and they started pressing us, and we then didn't show enough know-how or experience to get over that press. And it was difficult, don't get me wrong, we were against the elements in the first half, strong wind in our faces, but we needed to play beyond that press and still create overloads. We didn't do that, and two horrendous bits of defending ultimately end up with us going in 2-1 behind from nowhere. So that you then have to, I suppose, look for a reaction. I thought second half probably epitomises where we're at the moment. Lots of good play, lots of created off situations, lots of opportunities to score and not putting the ball in the net. Thankfully we get one at the end that gets us back into it, and we get ourselves another opportunity through a mistake to win the game. Don't win the game, but thankfully get that extra point on penalties.
Plenty of changes to your side tonight. People who we haven't really seen a lot of. Jordan Cooks, was Cullen, Goodwin, Crawford. Was there anyone who stood out for you and obviously give you a bit of food for thought for Saturday?
I don't know, in terms of where we're at, but like I say, we need goals, and for Dales to get 2 goals, although he's been in the team, these games have been really fruitful for him in terms of being able to score. Hopefully he can transfer, and that will go into what he does on a Saturday afternoon or a Tuesday evening in League 2 fixtures, because I say he's been really positive since he came in, and in the games, whether it be bounce games or whether these games, he's been really efficient in terms of goals output. Hopefully that'll do his confidence the world of good, and he takes that into the weekend. Listen, as with everything, you look at there were positives without question. We'll watch the game back as we always do. We'll analyse stuff. We'll go through things. There are certain things we can do better, but it's good to be able to learn and go through them in a winning outcome rather than a disappointment of a defeat.
And just to mention Luke Molyneux as well, who came on and certainly impressed, help obviously setting up one of the goals, but we took the penalty at the end, and you were just saying that you were actually shouting over for Dale to maybe take that.
No, I did initially, and I thought probably around the opportunity for him to get a hat-trick. Obviously I realised I'd not forgotten, but you recognise in them penalty takers straight away, you're thinking Fev. Probably as the game was going, or if I'd picked one with early on, it potentially would have been Dales, or I imagine Coles. But with Moles going on the pitch, he obviously scored an important penalty for us in the promotion final. So and is a good penalty taker. So you'd back him to score. Unfortunately, it's the crossbar. But in hindsight, if you're looking at it and you think, you want to take, I suppose, emotion out of and sentiment a little bit out of the decision, but Dales as a young player on 2 goals with the opportunity to score a hat-trick, that opportunity might not come for him for quite some time, if ever. So again, maybe in hindsight, I maybe should have, and not based on the Moll scoring or missing. It may have been a nice one for Dales to give him that responsibility in a challenging environment and challenging conditions in order to see a little bit what he's about. It wasn't to be. Listen, he stuck his penalty away in the shootout, and he'll certainly take a lot from tonight.
Obviously, I know we had the opportunity then to take all the points, but we've come from behind. We've won in the end on penalties. How much confidence will that do for, as I said, a lot of the lads who haven't featured really a lot?
Yeah, listen, they'll all take little bits out of the game. They'll probably be a little bit disappointed because what they'll all have been hoping for is for them to produce a performance that wows us and goes, I have to play on Saturday. And although there are positives amongst it, I don't think anyone really has done that. And that'll be disappointing for them. But the challenges that they've had over the recent times in terms of these games, in terms of the bounce games, that's a different level tonight. So that, regardless of what it is, that's a League One team with 2 or 3 of their players that played at the weekend within that team that have played and started League One in a really positive frame. So it was a good test, and I think in the main we stood up to that test. What we did do, as you do when you step up levels, you got punished from really lax defending, and we need to be better at that.
Dave, thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.